Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all having a lovely day today. So for today's video, I'm going to be letting you guys know my makeup inventory for 2025. I feel like the lighting is so weird today because I've had to like cover the sun a little bit. So if it keeps going in and out, I'm really sorry. But hopefully it stays okay. But yeah, I'm going to be doing my makeup inventory for 2025. Hopefully my numbers have gone down. But yeah, I guess without further ado, let's just get into it because I'm filming this super late in the year. I wanted to film this in January to go up in January, and it's going to go up in Feb. So amazing. But yeah, let's just get into it. Okay, so I'm thinking this is going to be quite a chatty one and a little bit of a longer one. So get yourself a snack, get yourself a drink, and just relax. Do your chores if you're doing chores, or just sit down and watch me ramble. I don't know. Let's start off with primers. So primers. Currently, I have 4 primers in my makeup collection. Last year I had 6, and the year before that I had 11. So that is amazing, to be honest with you. Do you know where I feel like I kind of want to be with primers? I feel like 4 is fine. It's a little bit excessive. I feel like 3 would be perfect, to be completely honest with you. 2 that I know and love, and 1 that I would like to try. Just to, you know, keep it spicy, you know? I feel like it gets a bit boring and stale doing your makeup with the same products all of the time. So I'm someone who really likes to enjoy and like mess around and play with makeup. So I feel like 3 would be perfect. 2 that I know and love that do different things. And then 1 that, you know, I'm testing, seeing if I like it. Yeah, I feel like that would be perfect, but amazing on the primer front, in my opinion. And then onto brow pencils / pens. So I currently have 4. Last year I had 3, and the year before that I had 6. So I have gone up since last year. But one of them, honestly, I feel like it just needs decluttering. But I think I just need to either finish it up or just declutter it. It's just so dark, and I just don't like how it fills in my brows. It makes them look quite blocky, and I just don't really like it. I might try it when I've got my brows like laminated and tinted, just to quickly put some brow hairs through maybe. I might try it that way and just see if I can get it used up. But that one definitely needs to go. And then I love my brow pen that I've got in my brows today, but I would like to go down a shade, and I think that that's coming to an end of its life as well, to be honest. And then the brow pencil that I absolutely love is the e.l.f. one that I have. Love that to death. So yeah, I think ideally I would like to have 2, because I always like to have a backup. I think it's so scary to be doing your brows and then all of a sudden it's gone. Like, no. Anyway, moving on to brow pomade. So I have 0. Last year I had 2, and the year before I had 2. I decluttered them. I didn't finish them. I never use brow pomades anymore. I think they're just too harsh. I don't like the way they look, and I feel like a pencil is so much quicker and easier, to be honest with you. So I decluttered them. Brow powder, I have 1. Honestly, I'm thinking about decluttering this as well. Last year I had 1, and the year before I had 1. It's the same one. I'm thinking of decluttering it because, again, I don't really use it, and I just feel like brow pencils or brow pens are so much quicker, and I just feel like they look nicer. So that might get decluttered by the end of the year, but I haven't made up my mind about it yet. Brow wax, I have 0. Last year I had 1, and the year before I had 1. I finished that up this year. I'm pretty sure I finished it up in my project pan. Did I? I can't remember. But yeah, I finished it up anyway. Foundations, I feel like I've done really well here. So I currently have 8. Last year I had 11, and the year before I had 12. So 8 I still feel like is way too excessive for foundations. I think I'd like, hopefully, to have this down to maybe 6 next year. But ideally I'd like to be down to maybe, I want to say 4, which I know sounds excessive because it is. But again, I like to play with makeup. I still want to enjoy my makeup collection, but I feel like 4 is much more manageable than, you know, 8, 11, 12. So yeah, I feel like 4 would be perfect because then I can at least play with different formulas, different brands, different, you know, high-end drugstore. Yeah, I feel like that would be where I'd like to be. So next up we have glowy foundation / primer, bases, that kind of a thing. So I currently have 0. Last year I had 2, and the year before that I had 2 as well. Both of them actually ended up being decluttered. The Charlotte Tilbury one I had, which I love, and I am contemplating repurchasing it, but I'm not sure if I need one in my makeup collection anymore. If I really, really miss it, I might buy it again, but I do love the Charlotte Tilbury one. And the other one was a Primark dupe. The consistency of it just completely changed on me, so I feel like that also expired. So yeah, I currently have 0, and maybe I'll get 1, I'm not sure, but I'm not sure if I need this in my makeup collection anymore. Okay, next up, I'm actually kind of annoyed. We have concealer. So I currently have 6. Last year I had 6, and the year before I had 7. I purchased 2 new ones this year, so I finished up 2, or decluttered 1 and finished 1. I know I definitely finished 1 anyway. So yeah, this should be down, but I purchased 2 new ones because none of my concealers in my makeup collection were doing what I wanted them to do. They all looked very dry and quite heavy and cakey under my eyes. So yeah, I definitely want to get a lot of them that are in my collection out. But yeah, I purchased 1 that I really, really love. I've almost finished it. Like, I brought it last year and it's almost all gone. I actually had to stop using it because I didn't want to just keep using that and then never using the other ones in my collection, because I want to get them finished up whilst I can. But then I also brought another one because I remembered loving it so much. Someone mentioned it in a video and I was like, do you know what? I'm going to repurchase it because it would be nice to float between 2 concealers that I love when I'm getting ready for like occasions and stuff. So yeah, this should be down, but it's not. It's the same. At least I maintained and didn't go up. Cream bronzer. I'm really sad about this. Cream bronzer, I currently have 6. Last year I had 3, and the year before I had 5. In my defense, I have not brought a single cream bronzer this year. I got brought a palette that has 4 bronzers and 4 blushes in it, cream blushes and bronzers, which I love the palette. I can't wait to start using it. I've not actually used it yet, but I'm so excited to try it. But obviously it's a lot of cream products, so that's why that's gone up. But I actually didn't buy it myself. I didn't even ask for it. So yeah, that's why that's gone up. So a little bit gutting. And then onto the same kind of thing, cream blush. This is so excessive. I have currently got 11. Last year I had 7, and the year before I had 7. I'm really hoping to bring this number down again. It should have stayed at 7, but obviously I got that palette, which added 4, but obviously it hasn't gone up or down. So yeah, I really need to get this down, to be honest. And then onto liquid highlight. So I currently have 3. Last year I had 3, and the year before that I had 2. I'd really like to get this down. There's only really 1 that I really like and would continue to repurchase. So the other 2, one of them I might need to declutter because I just don't think it works for me. So I might declutter that one, but one of them is usable. It's just not my favourite, and it can look a little bit chunky sometimes, which I don't really like a chunky highlighter. But I think I could still use it up if I use it like sparingly, I guess. But yeah, I'd like to have this down to just 1, hopefully. Setting powders. I've done so much better here. I used to have so many setting powders. Like, I would have backups upon backups upon backups. But now I have 4. Last year I had 7, and the year before that I had 8. So obviously the number is coming down. It's doing great. There's 1 in my collection at the minute that I just really need to get out because I just don't think it's for me. Or I at least need to try it enough to know if, you know, I would repurchase it. At this moment in time, I don't think I would. But yeah, I'm hoping to have this down to 3 because I would like to I have 1 dedicated to my under eyes and then I have 1 that I absolutely love, and then I would like to have 1 that, you know, I'm trying. Yeah. Okay, moving on to setting sprays. I currently have 3. Last year I had 3, and the year before that I had 3. Now, in my defense, I have got the same 3. I just keep repurchasing the same 3. So 2 of them are almost empty. My 2 e.l.f. ones are almost empty. And then I just got given a Charlotte Tilbury one for Christmas, which is obviously full. So 2 of them are about to be empty anyway. But they're going to get repurchased because I love them. So yeah, I do have 3, but I cycle through all 3 and all 3 of them get used up. Like for example, a Charlotte Tilbury one got completely emptied last year. I now have a new one. The 2 e.l.f. ones are pretty much empty within the year. So again, I'm going to get a new one. So I think 3 is fine. I don't feel like there's anything wrong with that. And then single bronzers, I currently have 8. Last year I had 8 and the year before I had 11. So the numbers stayed the same. I would really like to get one of them out of my collection this year. The number I would actually like to get down to is like 2, I think. I'm not really that bothered about powder bronzer anymore, I don't think. I'm much more into cream products and then just, you know, tap in over the top with a powder product just to set it in place. Because I do have oily skin, so yeah, I do need to set my face. So I still need a powder bronzer, but I feel like 2 would be okay, I think. And then onto face palettes. I currently have 1. Last year I had 2, and then the year before that I also had 2. The one that I have, I'm thinking of decluttering because it's mostly a bronzer contour palette, and I have so many powder bronzers and I just never reach for it. I don't know. I'll see how I feel. It could be quite good for if I go away and it's all in one place. So I don't know. I'll decide that later down the line anyway. Okay, moving on to my blush singles. So I currently have 9. Last year I had 8 and the year before that I had 9. So the reason this has gone up is because, to be fair, it is completely different to every single blush I have in my collection. I brought myself, well, out of my Christmas money, I brought myself a new blush, and to be fair, the purchase was perfect because I haven't put it down. I literally haven't stopped using it. It's the Rare Beauty blush that's like quite sparkly, so I use it as a highlighter and a blush in one. Cuts off time in my makeup routine, and yeah, I love it. I don't regret the purchase. I just need to work my way down in some of my highlighters now. Some of them definitely need to be used. Then on to single highlights. I currently have 6. Last year I had 9 and the year before that I had 14. So that's come a long way. I think ideally I would like to have this down to maybe 3, all different tones. So like a champagne-y highlighter, a goldish kind of highlighter, and like a pinky highlighter. They're the only ones I ever really go for anyway. So I feel like I really could do with getting this down to just having 3. And 3 is still excessive, but they would all go with different kind of makeup looks, if that makes sense. So yeah, I feel like I would like to have this down to 3. But yeah, it's gonna take a while. So then on to highlighter palettes. I currently have 2. Last year I had 5 and the year before that I had 7. I'm not a highlighter palette girly anymore. I just prefer having singles. I feel like they're so much easier and you get to pick what actual highlighters you want rather than, you know, having a palette full of highlighters and you probably like 1 or 2 of them. So I would like to have this down to 0, but I don't think that's achievable this year. But in the grand scheme of things, 0 would be perfect. Okay, then on to, oh, this is so sad to me. Then on to eyeshadow palettes. I currently have 25. Last year I had 25 and the year before that I had 30. This should be so much lower. I don't know what happened, but people just for birthdays and stuff just brought me eyeshadow palettes, and I do not need any more eyeshadow palettes. Don't get me wrong, the eyeshadow palettes that I got brought, amazing, loved them, but I didn't need them in any way, shape or form. So I really want to go through my collection and really get this down because I feel like 25 is just insane, and I barely use eyeshadow. I'm not like a massive eyeshadow girl anymore. I do like to pop a bit of eyeshadow on every now and again. When I'm like playing with makeup and stuff and doing something fun, eyeshadow is always so fun. But yeah, I would like to have this down a lot. Like I would like to have this down to like maybe 10 palettes. And 10 palettes is still excessive, but that's where I'd like to have it. Then on to loose glitter. I currently have 3. Last year I had 3. The year before that I had 3. I would like to declutter these, to be honest, or pass them on to someone who's actually going to use them. I never ever use loose glitter anymore. It's too messy. And I can't be bothered with the whole process of taking it off and stuff. So yeah, I feel like I'd like to have this down to 0, ideally. My liquid glitters, I currently have 2. Last year I had 2 and the year before that I had 1. I do like having liquid glitters. I just feel like they're really, really easy, add a little bit of sparkle to the eye. So yeah, I don't mind keeping the 2 that I have. Then I have my glitter glue. So I have 1. Last year I had 1, and the year before that I had 1. Obviously this comes with no surprise. I would like to have this down to 0 because I don't need a glitter glue if I've got no loose glitters. So yeah, I would like to have this down to 0. Then on to eyeshadow primer. I currently have 0. Last year I had 1, and the year before that I had 1. I actually decluttered it because it expired, and I might buy eyeshadow primer once my concealer collection has come down, but I currently only ever use concealer as eyeshadow primer. I know that makeup artists say not to do that because it's not the best for an eyeshadow primer, but it's just what I've always done. So I don't know, it works for me. So I don't know if I'll ever have eyeshadow primers. I don't know if that's something I'm into. Then eyeshadow crayons, I currently have 1. Last year I had 1. The year before that I had 1. It's the same one, and I really want to start using it, to be honest, because I think it'd be quite easy to integrate into my everyday makeup routine, but I just never do. I don't know, maybe I'll put it in my everyday makeup drawer, and then maybe I'll use it more. I don't know. So then on to lip liners. I currently have 12. Last year I had 11, and the year before that I had 16. I brought 2 new ones, so this does make sense. One of them must have either got lost or I decluttered one, but I can't remember. But yeah, I would like to have this down a lot. I feel like that's excessive because most of them are like the same shades. They really, really are. So yeah, I would like to have this down. I'm not sure on the number yet because it all depends on like tones and stuff, but 12 is excessive. Then on to lip gloss. I feel like I've done quite well here. I currently have 8. Last year I had 10, and the year before that I had 14. I would like to get this number down, maybe to like 5 or 6 maybe. That's still excessive, but I do go through lip gloss a lot quicker than I do lipsticks because obviously you reapply all day, you know, you eat, you talk, you drink, it comes off. So yeah, I would like to have this down to like 5-ish. And I feel like that's achievable even in this year, maybe, I don't know. And then moving on to lipsticks, I currently have 4. Last year I had 5. The year before that I had 7. I like having a lipstick, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like 4 is fine, to be honest with you. I don't feel like there's anything wrong with that. They're all different shades as well, so I feel like that's okay. Liquid lipsticks, I currently have 4. Last year I had 8, and the year before that I had 16. Oh my god, that has halved every single year. That is so weird. I currently have 2 reds, so I would like to have that down to just 1. Hence why I'm wearing one today. And then what are my other 2? One of them, what shades do I actually have? Oh, one of them, to be fair, is like a lip balm lipstick, so yeah, and then the other one is like a nudie shade, so I'm not mad at that, to be honest. I feel like that's fine, but I would like to just have 1 less because I currently have a red, which I don't need. So then on to eyeliner. So pencil eyeliners I have 5, liquid eyeliners I have 2, and this is literally the same as the years before. I just don't ever really use them. So ideally I would like to be down to 1 liquid and 1 pencil. That's where I need to be at, to be honest with you. And maybe 3 pencils, as in some colours, and then a black. Yeah, so yeah, anyway. And then on to mascaras. I currently have 3. Last year I had 3, and the year before that I had 9. So I have a brown mascara. I have a black mascara. I actually have 2 black mascaras, and one of them is not open. So the brown one and a black one is open, and one black one is not open. So one of them I actually got for Christmas. It's a brand new one that I've not tried before. So I feel like 3 is fine, to be honest with you. I feel like realistically you only need 2. You know, then when one goes a bit crusty, dusty, musty, you can swap it out for another one. But because I like to have a brown as well, I feel like having 3 is perfectly fine. So with that all being said, now for the all important bit. So currently in my makeup collection, I currently have 148 makeup products. Last year I had 171, which means I have used up or gotten rid of 23 makeup products since the last year, which is not insane, but it's good. I would like to have the number down a lot more than that, but I feel like that's not too crazy, especially because I do makeup on YouTube and on my TikTok, and I do like to play with makeup, so I don't want my collection to be teeny tiny, but I do want it smaller, especially because of how I plan on rearranging this room. I would like to have just like 2 makeup drawers, to be honest, and currently I'm using 3, and 2 of them are the big fat, like what are they called, the Alex drawers from IKEA. So yeah, I do need to get my collection down a bit, but I feel like I'm getting there, and my numbers are always coming down. Every year I've done this, my numbers have come down, which is great. So hopefully that can continue to happen until I'm at a point where I'm happy. So we will be reviewing this next year, and hopefully my numbers have come down again, and hopefully my makeup collection is at a point where I'm happy. If it is, next year might be the last video I do of my makeup inventories. I don't know. But if you enjoy this video, please do let me know. Leave a like, because it lets me know that you enjoy the video. It also lets YouTube know and pushes me out to new people, which is always fun. Please do subscribe if you are new around here and you want to see more from me. I post new videos every Monday, Wednesday and Saturday. And I would love to have you here. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you want to, let me know what number of products you have in your makeup collection, if you know, because I'm curious if mine is outrageous. I don't feel like it is anymore. I used to think it was, and I don't feel like it is. I don't feel like it's that excessive anymore. It still is. I would like to have the number to come below 100. That in an ideal world would be where I'd want it to be. But yeah, maybe next year it will be. But that is everything that I have for you guys today. I'm going to stop rambling. Thank you so much for staying until the end of the video and spending a little bit of time with me today. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye guys.